This is Counterpoint's Change My View. Fish and birds should not be pets. Firstly, I want to note that of course there will be some anecdotal exceptions to what I'm going to say. Pets are domesticated animals that have a sort of reciprocal relationship with humans, affection, hunting, etc., and are not only for aesthetics. Fish and birds fall into a group of animals that have difficulty bonding with humans in many cases. For instance, the majority of a certain bird species does not form relationships with humans as opposed to dogs. To my understanding, caring for fish and birds is more difficult than caring for traditional pets, as they have different behaviors and needs. If a species of fish and birds are to be considered pets, it seems strange that they would be kept in tanks or cages unlike traditional pets that roam freely. Overall, I just don't understand what makes people consider such animals pets, other than that the human forms a bond with the animal. The criteria and reasoning above is my own, so if those are flawed in any way, please let me know. But what's the counterpoint? Pets are not only for aesthetics? Says who? Why can't they be? So what if the relationship and reciprocal bond doesn't go both ways? Humans can bond with almost anything. Why does it have to go both ways? You can say the same thing about the difficulty in care for different types of traditional pets as well. Some dog breeds are more difficult to care for as they have different behaviors and needs. I'm curious as to why you draw the line at birds and fish. And also, what do you mean by roam freely? Dogs often stay in the confines of their kennel, house, yard, or a combination of the three. If I had to guess the average space a dog had to roam free, I'd say it's only a few thousand square feet of space. I also don't understand how you find it strange that fish need to stay in a highly regulated and sterilized aquarium. As for pet birds, people can sometimes take them outside for walks, and a lot of people do. Birds can roam free just as much as any traditional pet could. Where do you get the idea that pet birds couldn't? Why does there have to be any additional justification for pet ownership, or what's classified as a pet, other than that the human forms a bond with the animal? Isn't that enough? To dive into a more anecdotal story, I had two pet baby chicks when I was 5 or 6 years old, and they were adorable, sweet, and beautiful. I miss their chirps to this very day. They were tested on and had permanent food coloring on them, and I think spending time with them is probably one of the foundational experiences I had in choosing later on in my life to not eat them. You and they can bond with anyone, including birds, fish, and even insects. It just requires an attitude of loving kindness. It also helps that baby chickens are so gosh darn cute as well. The smartest animal that we have ever identified was a gray parrot named Alex. His last words were, "You be good, see you tomorrow, I love you." I suggest you read Alex's story before you conclude that birds cannot form bonds with humans. Suffice to say, birds of many different species, especially highly intelligent species like parrots or ravens, are more than capable of building relationships with humans. Food for thought. Does bonding with something make it a pet? What's your view?